down. Here's Sam Cook to punt it away. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 18. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
The numbers for Mixon last week, he was able to topple the 200-yard mark and a rushing touchdown for good measure.
And what I found surprising, all those yards he accumulated, only found the end zone one
just
time.
Once.
That doesn't even seem fair, does it?
But still, the 200-yard mark, something he can always carry in his back pocket. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. And a look now at the Cincinnati offense.
An offensive line play is not something that comes to mind readily, but it's always a big key in a ball game. And already these guys, they're getting it done up front, as we've seen this rushing attack have some early success.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. And Tate's got it. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They get that little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. 34 yards there and a first down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. Well, look now at our starting defense. They're slightly better than average against the run, number 14 in the NFL.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator, because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, and see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called, and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. He's got it to Ingram. Complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. You know, projections for him were a little all over the board. Some saw him as a day 3 pick, maybe a little bit higher, but here he is, round 3.
I do know teams that had him listed as a first-round talent. I also had teams that had him listed as a day.
And he fires one that's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Passing, it's Dalton. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
You better talk to your boy. You better talk to your boy.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well. Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good 3-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. He'll look to shake off the interception on the opening drive. He should at least be comforted that it resulted in 3, not 6.
And if I were him, I would be the guy all the way out on the field greeting my defense now, saying thanks a lot. You held him to a field goal after I turned it over. That's a big defensive stand for them. He needs to go out now and make up for what he did on the first drive.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized.
It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now a give, right side. Dobbins. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Escaping the pressure right, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. He completes it to Tate. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
I'm coming after you.
Now a give right side. Dobbins, and he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2. Right back to him on first down. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And he's got Snead. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Ready. Spy 56. Ready. Watch tight end. Tight right.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The Ravens on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Jackson from the shotgun. This one complete to Ingram. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Bengals will get it at the 20. The Bengals drive about to get going. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10, eluding the pressure right. He'll try and run it. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
Hey, check 24, check 24. Yeah, 5-6.
And now to the air, Dalton. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Andy Dalton, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now here come the Ravens. And now the clock reads precisely 1 minute to go in the half. You want to run the 1-minute offense? This is a good test right here.
It certainly is, and definitely not a time to think about kneeling and going into the half. This is a chance to attack a little bit, but not having to get everything in one shot either. 10 yards here, 15 there. Work the sidelines, work the clock, give yourself a chance for at least a field goal going into the half. For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ingram. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. Here's Jackson. And his throw is incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And it's second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. On 3rd and 1, Jackson. He goes underneath to Ingram. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 41-yard line. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following
an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bengals set to take over. They played the Browns last week, got the victory in that game, and so far so good as they've got the lead here. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A big play there for Cincinnati. 43 yards on the ground. So you got the lead here in the second half. Obviously, you love big runs like that at any time. Here, you really like it.
And how about the confidence that's being exhibited by that offense now? They don't care what you're lining up doing on the defensive side. They want the big fella to carry the football and carry it often.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Joe Mixon. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Dalton. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. It's a safety blitz and a sack for Earl Thomas.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
He's got his man. This is Tate. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They run for it with Mixon. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Here's Bernard. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Here we go.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
From the 31, Jackson got a man. It's Brown. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. Jackson now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Let's go. Big series right now.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and he's in. Touchdown, Bengals. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching it.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
Bullet good on the extra point. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain on the dump off. It's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Open man is the tight end, Nick Boyle. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 29-yard line.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Let him know, let him know.
A quick throw here out to Cobb. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as it. And it'll be intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Tackle made there by Chris Wormley. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. 2nd and 10. Flushed out right. Caught right side, Tate. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Ready. 8-3.
They'll run on first down. Bernard, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Back now in Cincinnati. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. 2nd and 14. Finding some room at midfield. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 43.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete.
Ineligible receiver.
Well, let's see who this is on.
Offense.
And those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there.
10-2 saw. 50 seconds to Mike. Man, let's get some penetration here. Go.
Now a give, right side. Bernard. Well, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. They just look like they're having fun out there. Big lead. There's another big play on the big run. I mean, they can't be stopped.
I'm a little bit older than you, as you well know, partner, and you tend to tell me that all the time. But it used to be a big-time song when the lyric was, "Summertime and the living is easy." Right now, it's football time, and the running is easy for this crew.
It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. On first down, Bernard. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Not today, you are. Not today.
Now a carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 3rd down. And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7. They'll set up to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Jackson to throw. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Jackson's throw on target to Willie Snead. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Now Jackson on 1st down. That's complete to Cobb. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Jackson and the offense come up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing. There goes Mark Ingram. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Ravens cut into that lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
On second down, Bernard. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Now, after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They're going to look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And we shift our attention to Mark Ingram. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in the game.
Yeah, about the 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
Now left side on the swing pass. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. They go screen. This is Ingram. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Now it's Jackson. That his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. Facing this 4th quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side...
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock. They know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. From the gun to give to Mixon. And an alley to run. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll give it to Mixon. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
They are in the 4th in Buffalo, and the Bills have wound up winning that one. Cole Beasley, he had a touchdown reception to help the cause. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Cincinnati, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay home again